Hi everyone! We are so happy to see you and be with you today. My name is Lily
And my name is Blue.
and welcome to our channel, the English Academy 101 with Lily and Blue.
English Academy of Quotes and Words.
And we are reporting to you from New Westminster, BC, Canada.
Yes, thank you very much for being with us today.
And we'll be looking into different phrases and expressions that North Americans use in their everyday life.
Yes.
Uh,
Like for instance,
like, for instance, I have a question today about the phrase pass the buck.
pass the buck.
Pass the buck. And I was always wondering about this phrase. Just the other day, I saw a crowd of people talking together, and all I heard, he passed the buck, he passed the buck, they pass the buck. All they do is pass the buck. So I wondered what pass the buck
Yes.
means.
Yes. A very common quote and expression used by many peoples in the Western Hemisphere of our part of the our part of the world, I should say. What do you think pass the buck means, Lilia?
Well, yeah, I gave it a thought, and I thought that maybe buck originates from the bucket,
Uh-huh.
and I'm not so sure about it, but I thought maybe
Uh-huh.
it comes from the construction site. You know, when people paint and they do all sorts of things, and one worker says to another, "Can you please pass me that buck?" And then I thought, no, bucket and buck are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
then I thought that
Wow.
buck comes from the male deer. But then that doesn't make sense even more. Pass the buck. How can you pass the male deer to somebody?
Yes.
And why would you even do that?
Why would you do that?
And so that got me thinking, and I think
Mm-hmm.
the best way to resolve this issue is just to ask a wonderful Professor Blue. And he's sitting just next to me. So what do you think?
I like that name, Professor Blue. First of all, I think we should
Stick to it.
stick to that name. Yes, I like it very much. What does pass the buck mean? I've heard that many times, that expression, and I've used it many, many times because, I didn't want to take responsibility. I didn't want to take authority. I didn't even want to explain nothing. So I just passed the buck.
Oh, so
To my
that's what
friends.
it means.
Yes.
And I hear that expression in Canada so often. I don't
Yes.
know why.
Yeah, pass the buck. It's like you don't want to take responsibility for something. You don't want to even acknowledge it or talk about it. You don't even want to express yourself about it. So you just pass the buck. You pass it to somebody else and let them explain it. Let Professor Blue explain it. In fact, you just passed the buck to me by saying, let's talk to Professor Blue and ask him what it means.
Oh, I
Yes.
see.
But a very interesting thing, I must add, though, the history of pass the buck. You know
Oh,
where
the
it came
origin,
from.
the origin
Yes, the
of
original
passing
history
the
of pass the
buck.
buck. You want to know where it came
Oh,
from?
sure.
Pass the buck was originally an expression used by poker players. Yes,
way.
yes. Poker players, that's where it originated from. Pass the buck was a terminology if one poker player didn't want to shuffle the cards and didn't want to deal the hand, then they had a knife with an antler buck handle on it.
No way.
And that's where the antler is the buck antler of the knife. So
That's what it means.
the poker player would take the knife with the buck handle on it and pass it to the next poker player saying, now, I don't want to deal. I don't want to shuffle. So it would go right around the whole table until somebody said, yeah, okay, I'll shuffle. I'll do the deal. And that's where pass the buck comes from.
Oh, that is really, really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder when it happened, like when this expression came to life.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. I can't remember whether it was the 16th century or the 17th century, but it was very early on.
Yeah, I bet
We have
that
to do a
was.
little bit more research, I think, to find out that one. Even Professor Blue is kind of stumped on that one, you know?
Yeah, I think this was during the American frontier.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, during the colonialism.
Yes, the frontier days, yes.
Yeah.
Maybe even during the gold
17th
rush and
century,
stuff.
right?
Yes, I think you're absolutely right on that one, yeah.
But that's interesting how it just stick and got into our century and we still use it.
Still use it today, yes. And actually, in fact, there's a lot of quotes and a lot of slang expressions that we use in everyday life that people don't realize that are centuries old. And even some of our quotes are biblical from the Word of God that we use every day as
Wow.
well.
But we'll talk about that next time.
Yes.
Subscribe to our channel,
Yes.
the English Academy 101 with Lily and Blue.
Yes.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much for your time, and give us a like on our page, and then
And another
we will
challenge
bless you.
is
Yes.
just share with us a story when you passed the buck to somebody or somebody
Yes.
passed the buck in your life.
Yeah.
Share that story with us.
Yes.
And see you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye. Have a beautiful day and a great week.